I'd rather show you what I got. Where I walk, where I talk. See me flying down my route, pass me the ball. I ain't dropping none, I don't fumble at all. Winner, chicken dinner every time we ball. Throwing it like I dunk it like LeBron. Hey. Monday Night Fredo, Infinity TV.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you may be watching this. Welcome to Monday Night Fredo here live from Los Angeles at the Infinity Studios. And I mean, it has been a long week and there has been so much that I'm here to talk to you guys about. So this might be, honestly, one of the best episodes this year so far. So make sure, don't tune out, because I have a lot of great things coming up. Of course, you know that we bring you all of the latest LA Sparks content. And of course, the Sparks have been on the 2-game winning streak right now. I will break down the whole season, what's going on, how great Jordan Canada has been playing, Neko Gumike, and what's happening with Lexi Brown. I will bring you guys all of that latest information, but also the NBA draft happened a few days ago. And yes, the big Victor Wembanyama is here now. He is officially part of the NBA. And is he going to be a great start or is he going to be a bust? I mean, I will give you my reaction on that. And I do have a very strong way I feel about Victor. So I will be talking about him as well. And of course, there's been some trades around town right now. Of course, you've seen some movement in the NBA. And of course, there are more grilling rumors right now because we're a few days away from NBA free agency beginning. So I will bring you all of that. And as well, finally, something that was on my bucket list was able to accomplish this past week as I went over to go watch Shohei Ohtani, the biggest baseball star in the world right now, who is scheduled to become a free agent in the next few months. And that's something that I will be talking about, and I will be ending the show with Shohei Ohtani. So that's one thing right there. But I do want to get started here with the LA Sparks. Of course, the LA Sparks were on primetime last night, or technically last afternoon yesterday. And, you know, they were playing a very good team. Let's not forget about the Dallas Wings. You know, they are 6-8 right now. They enter Friday's showdown at 6-7. But when you look at a team like Dallas, who has been kind of very similar to the LA Sparks, you know, being right at 500, battling for position in the WNBA. But you see that the LA Sparks face this 5-game homestand. And I remember Coach Kurt Miller talking to the media on the first game of the homestand. He mentioned that this is very important. This is very important for the LA Sparks to take care of home court. You know, he did mention that as well during pregame workouts, and he gathered the team around and he was like, hey, this protect home court. This is our court. It's protected. And he was feeling very strong about that. But LA got to a very rough start in the first 5 games here of this homestand, losing the first 3 and losing back-to-back to the Minnesota Lynx. So that was not a good look for the LA Sparks, especially knowing how you can see that they have more talent than the Minnesota Lynx. So you expect a more talented team at times, even though you're missing a very important player in Lexi Brown, which she is still no update on Lexi Brown as of right now. They do not know when she will be back on the court. My prediction might be possibly looking into possibly next Wednesday when the LA Sparks do return back to Los Angeles, because I did see that she did not travel with the team. The team is traveling this Wednesday over to Chicago. They do have a morning game started at 9 a.m. in LA time, and that game will be national televised as well on NBA TV. So if you have NBA TV, you can catch the LA Sparks 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning. But when you see the type of team that, you know, they are being right now, and you see that they have the potential to maybe be a playoff team later this year, because this season did get extended by extra games, which is something that WNBA players are like, well, why not pay us a little more? And I certainly believe that they deserve to be paid more if they got to play more, and that's something that the WNBA and the Players Association got to get together and do some retalks right there. But can LA, can Los Angeles really take a step forward? Yes, they definitely can. You know why? Because they got arguably one of the best basketball players right now, and that's Nneka Ogwumike. Nneka Ogwumike was just named an WNBA All-Star starter yesterday morning, and it is a great thing for her. She has been playing amazing all year long, averaging almost a double-double, 21 points a game, and you see the type of leader she is. She's out always the first one out on the court, practicing, getting her warm-up shots, her and her sister together, and she's takes care of her body. That's one important thing that she mentioned when she was talking to us during the post game. She was like, you know what, I take care of my body. It's everything I do outside of here is what prepares her when she steps into this place. And that's a very good thing for her, because you see every athlete out there, even when we talk about LeBron James. LeBron says he spends millions of dollars on his body in order to be playing 21 seasons in the NBA. And Nneka right now is in the middle of her 14th season in the WNBA right now. So congratulations again to Nneka Ogwumike and being announced in WNBA All-Star starter, because she definitely deserves it. And one thing I do agree with Coach Kurt Miller, he did mention yesterday that this season is arguably the best season of Nneka Ogwumike, even compared to her 2016 MVP season. She has better numbers all around. Earlier today, the LA Sparks PR department did tweet out there that, Nneka Ogwumike is on the top 10 rankings of every single category in the WNBA right now. So it is a good thing that she has her fingerprints all over the team, but that lets you know the type of leader that Nneka Ogwumike is. So she definitely deserves the opportunity she's getting. But one last thing I do want to finish on Nneka Ogwumike is she is on a 1-year deal right now. Over the offseason, not a lot of people expected Nneka to come back to the team, but the change of the front office, you get Karen Bryant, who is now the president of operations and GM for this team. You have someone like Eli, who stepped up from working with the PR department, now being an assistant GM, taking this team to another level. And arguably, you see every single player in the LA Sparks always talking about the environment, the change of scenery that now this team is. Like, now they got different type of leaderships around the team that they feel. I remember Nneka specifically saying this during training camp. She said, hey, it feels like I'm playing for a different organization, even though it's the same colors, but I feel like this is a different organization. And definitely has been showing that, because right now they're 7-7. Last year, they weren't even nowhere near where they're at right now, especially with the type of players they've had miss certain games. You have Clarendon, who's going to be out for another 3 weeks, a very key starter for the LA Sparks. And you have Lexi Brown, who's been out for about 5 games now. So there is a lot to look forward to. But of course, you can catch all of this content 24/7 on LA Sparks Weekly. And, even the opportunities that you look that we bring to the table here with LA Sparks Weekly, you can look at all the pregame reports we got for you. We got halftime, we got press conferences. So if you want to watch all that content, just go to LA Sparks Weekly on Instagram, and even follow us here on Infinity TV on Instagram and YouTube, where you'll be able to catch all that action. And of course, there's only one spot you can go to. Is go to infinitytv.com, which is right there, right in front of the screen for you. So make sure you catch that. And of course, catch me here on Monday Night Fredo every single Monday, because I'll be bringing you all this action. But there's one more interesting thing that I do want to talk to you guys about before we go to commercial break. I got the opportunity, being at the LA Sparks game, and we see everything going on out there. And I spotted out the greatest, and maybe right now she is the number 1 WNBA prospect. She is projected to be the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft. And that's Juju Watkins out of Sierra Canyon. She just graduated Sierra Canyon about a week or 2 ago. She's expecting, her birthday celebration in about few weeks ahead, she's about to turn 18. She's going to USC. She's going to go to USC and play basketball there. And me, myself, Fredo Cervantes, I'm out there on the court, and I got a chance to catch up with Juju Watkins, after the game on Friday night. And, she was very, very amazing. So she also shouted out Infinity Television. But I do want to show you guys the clip on certain interesting things on who is her favorite and maybe her GOAT in the WNBA. Check this out.
Hey, what's up, guys? Myself, Fredo Cervantes here with Infinity TV. I got the one and only Miss Basketball, Gatorade Player of the Year, Juju Watkins. How you doing, Juju?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for asking. So, real quick, let's just talk about the LA Sparks. We got a chance to go ahead and see this amazing game. What did you think about it so far right now?
Yeah, I always enjoy watching great players, and I was glad I got to see Destiny and Jordan go off and do their thing. So, I love watching the Sparks. I've been watching them for so long, so it's glad to come back here and see them play.
That's amazing. We've been watching you for so long as well, playing your time at Sierra Canyon. A little bit about your career high, 60 points in senior night. How was that, and how did the basket look to you? Was it just too big for you? Or?
No, I was in that mode, so I had a good game, and I'm glad that I got to do it. For my senior year ago, I would have been.
Okay, wonderful. And look, talking about your transformation now to USC, you're going to be going out there, whether it's a year or 2 or 4, whatever it is. But what are you looking to getting out of USC in your time there?
Definitely just enjoying the college experience. I think that I'm mainly looking to have fun, make new experiences and friends and relationships. So, just got to do that. And of course, basketball, I feel like, I hold the highest standards for myself. So everything that comes with that, championships and more. So really the sky's the limit.
Great. So real quick, before I let you go, Juju, what WNBA player do you kind of look at, say you're like, okay, this is my favorite player, or the one that you're resembling?
Yeah, I would definitely say Candace Parker. She's the GOAT for me, my GOAT. I've watched her since she was here, and I was just a kid. So I've been looking up to her for a long time, and I'm, she's one of the greats for sure.
There it is, former LA Spark as well. Before I let you go, your birthday's coming up in a few weeks. What are you looking into doing for that? I know everything about you, Juju. What you looking into doing?
Man, just chilling, relaxing. I don't really get to do that often, so just chilling, spending time with my family and having fun.
There it is. So shout out to Juju Watkins, the newest USC basketball star that's going to be taking over all of LA. So make sure everyone go ahead and tune in, and as well tune into Infinity TV. If you could just give a quick shout out to Infinity Television right here.
Shout out Infinity
Television.
Right. Shout out Infinity Television. This is Juju Watkins. See y'all.
There it is. Thank you again, Juju. Thank you.
And that was a conversation I got a chance to talk with Juju Watkins. Of course, she is the #1 ranked athlete right now in women's sports. So she is going to be taking over USC. So everyone follow her as well. She's always out there, doing her thing. But definitely when we return here on Monday Night Fredo, guys, I will talk about, is he a bust, or is he going to be the next biggest star that the NBA has ever seen? When we return here on Monday Night Fredo.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Profanity Nation. A podcast For the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
And we're back here on Monday Night Fredo, guys. Myself, Fredo Cervantes. Of course, again, I just finished talking about the LA Sparks right now, so make sure everyone goes and follow us on LA Sparks Weekly on Instagram. And you can get all the content here on infinitytv.com as well. But in the NBA now, let's move forward to the NBA because we know that the NBA draft every single year brings a lot of young athletes to our attention that we've never, ever seen before. And now we're going to be able to get a chance to witness them and on the biggest stage of them all. And, the NBA here just got Victor Wembanyama in the league. He is about 7'5", 7'6", whatever he is. He's just too tall. It feels like in whatever building he walks into, he's going to end up hitting his head. And, he is only about 200 and some pounds. Not that big he's not body built like that for the NBA right now, but that was the same body size that, Chet Holmgren, who was drafted second last season by the OKC Thunder, who injured his leg during a summer league game, not for the NBA, but it was like he was playing for a Drew League out there in Seattle or something, and that's where he got hurt. But he was not built like that either, because it feels like even my legs, I'm not an athlete, but I feel like my legs are a lot thicker than Victor's himself. So if for him to be bumping, and especially having to play the center spot, he's going to play the center spot. And even though he needs to match up with guys like Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis, maybe at times you can look at a DeAndre Ayton, and he's going to have to be bumping bodies with these people. And I don't know if he's going to be able to hang with these guys. But one thing that I do believe in Victor's game, I do believe that he can get the ball in the rim. That's not going to be a problem for him playing down low. But playing outside the arc, where you're going to be now trying to become a three-point shooter, a fadeaway shooter from three, because there's been some ridiculous shots of Wembanyama dunking, jumping from the three-point line, chasing the balls, grabbing rebounds over everyone's head. And I saw a highlight just a few days ago of him being at the Spurs facility, and he's over there grabbing the ball, and he's barely jumping. He's already dunking the ball. I mean, this guy's bigger than Yao Ming. I mean, at one point, we thought Yao Ming was one of the biggest guys out there. And when we look at Mo Bamba, former Laker, which he's a free agent right now, Mo Bamba's maybe about an inch shorter than him. But Mo Bamba does not have the athleticism that he has, being able to dribble between his legs, step back jumper, and the things that Steph Curry, Trae Young are out there doing. So he is going to be a difference maker. He is going to be exciting for the league. And I'm really hoping that he pans out to be the athlete that we all imagined him to be, because that's going to be exciting for the league. And it's definitely going to be exciting for Los Angeles basketball fans, because the San Antonio Spurs come often to Los Angeles, whether they play the Lakers or they play the Clippers. So Los Angeles will certainly get the opportunity to see him constantly, a few times a month, I would say. But my personal opinion, is he going to be a bust or is he going to be a star? I think Victor will be a star. I certainly believe he will be, and he will elevate his potential, because we all know his potential right now. We feel like he can be, I feel that he can be a 22-15 type of guy every single night, 22-15. And those are great numbers. But I think he's going to exceed those numbers. And I can see why Adrian Wojnarowski said on NBA Draft Night that, Victor could be the biggest star that this planet has ever seen, even bigger than LeBron James, bigger than Olajuwon, bigger than Jordan, bigger than Magic and whatnot. But I do agree he is going to be a star. I do see star potential. The only thing that might hold him back is injuries. Of course, injuries will be a problem. And that's a problem for a lot of athletes, but he's not going to have trouble putting the ball in the basket. And he's only going to get better. I feel like the pop out there, being able to be with Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Manu Ginobili. There was a great classic picture that was trending throughout social media a few days ago where all of the past Spurs were now with Victor, whether they were having dinner or whatnot, it looked like. And he has great role models to look forward to. So I feel that if he was maybe drafted to the Rockets, he was maybe drafted to the Magic, or, no disrespect to the Hornets, but if he was drafted to one of those teams, I don't think he would exceed his expectations in those organizations. And talking about the Charlotte Hornets, let's talk about the number 2 overall pick in Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller out of Alabama. And you guys, if you've been watching the breaks, which you can watch me on the breaks tomorrow afternoon, 12 o'clock here on Infinity TV, I was talking on the breaks a few weeks ago that Brandon Miller is going to be the steal of the draft. We all know that Wembanyama is technically the star of the draft. But there's always those other key players, whether you're pick number 2, you're pick number 8, or you're pick number 37, or pick number 60th, 59th. But there's always going to be a steal in the league. And I recall in 2007 when, Greg Oden got drafted number 1 overall pick, and we all thought Greg at the time was, he's the next Shaq. He's going to be huge. He's going to be big down low. But no, it was Kevin Durant who got taken 2nd overall. We understand that Greg Oden went through an injury that, kind of did not help his career. But Kevin Durant was just sliding through that 2nd spot. He elevated with the Seattle Supersonics in the first season, then later on becoming the Oklahoma City Thunder. But Kevin Durant has arguably been the player of that draft. He was maybe not the talk of the draft, but he certainly became the player of the draft. And this is the same thing that I could see if Victor does not pan out to be the player we all expect him to be. I do see Brandon Miller being the steal of this draft. And he did say one crazy thing where I was like, hey, Brandon, take a chill pill right there. Relax. He did say, I see the Hornets in the NBA Finals next season. Really? You see them? Because I don't really see them there. I mean, you have Miami, you have Philly, you have Boston, you have New York, you have Cleveland, you have Chicago, you have Atlanta. There's a lot more better teams in the Hornets right now. And you do see the potential that LaMelo Ball can maybe turn out to be this season. He did go through those injuries. It seems like every player always goes through a lot. I mean, a lot of injuries. And LaMelo Ball I feel like he now got a teammate that he can rely on. The first 3 seasons, he had a teammate in Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges played the first 2 seasons very good, became an all-star in his 2nd year with LaMelo Ball. But this past season, they thought, and I thought, that they were going to take, the step to the next direction. So I figure, hey, maybe why not pair him up with someone else like a Brandon Miller who can really take the ball away from LaMelo, not having to put the potential out there all the time and having to maybe be the starter of the team, be the passer of the team, be the scorer of the team. And, for that exact thing to happen, LaMelo Ball does need to maybe relax on certain shot taking that he was taking early on. And we see the things that Brandon Miller brings to the table, that it can be the next tandem that people are going to see and be like, hey, you know what? Let's keep an eye out for LaMelo and Brandon Miller out there, because Brandon Miller can be giving you 20 to 25 a night. That's going to be no problem. So the expectations that Brandon Miller's coming into this season, like, hey, look, I'm going to be in the NBA Finals. Okay, that's good. That's great. Make sure you keep that same talk all season long, from game 1 of the season to game 82 of the season. And maybe if you do end up making the playoffs, you got a little more to take. But that is going to be very important for them out there. But I do want to finish off this last thought before we go to commercial break. The trade speculations. We saw the movement earlier this morning on John Collins being traded from the Atlanta Hawks over to the Utah Jazz. And now the Utah Jazz had Laurie Markkinen. They got Jordan Clarkson, which I don't see Jordan Clarkson being a start of that team. You know, I have love and respect for Jordan. He grew up with the Lakers. He always seemed to be the guy dribbling with the ball with his head down when he was a member of the Lakers, and he still does that to this day. So there's a lot of things that he still needs to step up his game. He's a great scorer. You know, he can get to the rim easily. He has the speed and athleticism, but I feel that he has more steps to take in order to become maybe an all-star first, maybe a potential guard in the league right now. But that's a good trade. That was definitely a good trade. But another trade I kind of didn't see coming. I didn't see this coming. There was two trades that kind of caught me off guard over the weekend, which the first trade came over from the Washington Wizards, who acquired CP3 from the Phoenix Suns for Bradley Beal. And we all thought, okay, well, maybe CP3 is going to get a buyout with the Wizards, or he might stay in Washington. But it ended up being a pretty good, interesting trade. You saw CP3 moving on to the Golden State Warriors, which is like, whoa, the Warriors? Is he going to stay there? Is he going to get bought out? Is he going to get along with Steph Curry? Well, Steph Curry and CP3 did get on the phone together, did get on a podcast together, I think it was, or it was on Instagram Live, but they were both broadcasting together, looking very happy, like great teammates. But there is one teammate that CP3 is going to have to try to maybe try to get on his good side, which is Draymond Green, because a few months ago, Draymond Green went on the podcast and said that he does not like CP3 at all. And he was open about that. He's, I don't like CP3. I don't like him. I respect his game. I respect his knowledge of the game. I respect his IQ, but I don't like CP3. That's what came out of his mouth. And guess what came out earlier this morning? Earlier this morning, Chris Haynes, who reports for TNT and for Bleacher Report, did say that Draymond Green will be taking free agent meetings with other teams. That is according to Rich Paul in Clutch Sports, who is Draymond's agent. So that is going to be very interesting, whether Draymond really does decide to leave the Warriors and whether the Warriors are going to maybe use that money and bring in another guy, which I think the Warriors need a big. They certainly need a big. Kayvon Looney is not a big. They thought they had a big, and, you know, in their draft pick, they traded away to Detroit, which was maybe not a good move. But there is going to be a lot of interesting things in the NBA. I do want to finish off this thought right now before we close out Monday Night Fredo in Major League Baseball. All right, Shohei Ohtani got the opportunity to see the Phenom last Wednesday night over at Angel Stadium, you know, against the Dodgers. He did strike out 8 players. I mean, it was a great game all around. It was a 0-0 game, you know, close fight. But it came for the Los Angeles Dodgers and Freddie Freeman to hit a solo home run over Shohei Ohtani. So you see Freddie Freeman, Hall of Famer, All-Star, getting that home run over Shohei Ohtani, that which was a bomb. It was a big bomb. But of course, talking about Freddie Freeman, you know, congratulations to Freddie Freeman, first baseman of the Los Angeles Dodgers, who just got his 2,000th hit and just joined the 2,000 hit club for Major League Baseball last night on Sunday Night Baseball against the Houston Astros over at Dodger Stadium. So it was a great moment for Freddie Freeman to stand at second base after hitting a double and getting the ovation from the crowd and getting the appreciation for getting 2,000 hits, because that's very difficult to get in Major League Baseball. Very, very difficult. So congratulations to Freddie Freeman in all of Major League Baseball for that great ceremony they had yesterday. But Shohei Ohtani, is he going to get traded? We are a few weeks away from the trade deadline, and there are reports out there. I will let you guys know this. There are reports that the Angels are not going to trade him. They are going to take the risk, maybe the biggest risk any team in any sport will ever take. They are going to take the risk in losing the greatest athlete, two-way player in the same sport. Maybe walk away. Maybe just drive down the freeway to Los Angeles, because LA is certainly waiting for him. And I know you guys are certainly going to be waiting for me on the breaks tomorrow afternoon at 12 o'clock here on Infinity TV. Make sure you tune in there. I'll be bringing you guys some more highlights and reaction from the LA Sparks, all of the sporting events and teams are covering here on Infinity TV. Make sure you stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next Monday night. See you there.